like day 3.5, 4. I don't know. I've done lost track of time. It's currently Wednesday. No, it's Thursday night. Yeah, it's Thursday night. So made some really good progress on the car. Pretty much have disassembled and reassembled both late model and SC mod. And I got it behind me, so let's check them out. All right, guys, back to the late model. This is a late model. This is our SJD chassis. One of the biggest things that I was having issue with this car, at least, was that this hinge pin for the right front arm, they would come out. But so by end of the race, they'd be sticking out this far, and then the arm would be like really loose. So go ahead and put them back in, drill some holes. I got some set screws per se in there. But other than that, it's pretty much, we got the tires mounted up on there. We adjusted our ride heights. Everything looks good. The SC mod. SC mod needed a lot of work. The last race that we raced with this car, we got ourselves into some pretty tricky situations, if you want to call it. So the front bumper pretty much got smashed up. You can see it's still kind of bent. These got broken. Didn't really race it that much this year, but when we did, you know, we at the end we were running some heavy timing in this car, so it was moving pretty good. We actually did pretty good. Gotten a couple little hits and bangs on the last race, so had to go through it. So pretty much we did the same thing. This car has a stand-up transmission in it. I do not have the top shaft to eliminate the slipper, but other than that, it has a stand-up, and it has one of Silky's nice little motor plates on it. So biggest thing about this car, like I said, it's got rebuilt. It has all metal internals because as much as torque as this 4-pole motor puts out, you need it. Other than that, our setup is pretty basic. We do run a 10 scale, just as a Gen 1 XR10 Pro. So these have a pretty high rated. So this is what I've always run on this car, is this ESC. So it does pretty good. All right, so pretty much we rebuilt the shocks. Everything looks good, clean. We replaced the bladders. I run bladders inside of these, so make sure everything is good. No bent shock shafts, no bent hinge pins, front or rear. Same thing for the rear. Everything's been rebuilt. Now, one of the things that we did decide to upgrade was our motor. I've always been a fan of running a smaller motor because I don't know, why not? I mean, one of the biggest faults about the SC mod class is that, yeah, they're bigger. They tend to be one of the most realistic looking ones compared to dirt track racing, you know, because the size, they're big, they look cool. And it's an open motor, but one of the biggest problems that people do with these cars is run way too much motor for them from what they really need. And that starts creating havoc on the track. So I've always run a small motor just to prove a point that you don't really need it. And if you do need it, you can add a time in. But we're at the Chilibowl. This is one of the biggest races, and people are going to give it all. So we went ahead and stepped up, went from a 4300 to a 6100. I call it the big black. So let's check it out. We decided to go with the Hobby Wing. Unfortunately, Power Products Mark was not available with any 4 poles. Unfortunately, with everything going on in China. So we did decide to go ahead and put it's in there, that's 6100. Gonna give her all the power we can give her. So we definitely need to make sure all our internals are set on point. Everything is good. We broke in the ball diff. That's correct. There's a gentleman, his son Landon and his dad, they always run a ball diff in their associated car, and they'd get her on the track so real good. So I decided to go ahead and put a ball diff in this car, just like the sprint car and everything, and it works very well. I mean, I can run a couple weekends without really even servicing it, so it does pretty good. Now, obviously, we've had to beef them up. It has, like I said earlier, it has all metal internals, carbide balls, metal diff gear, so we got some good stuff in it. So it works for me. All right, so on top of that, we also ordered a couple of batteries. So It was time to get a new battery for the RC mod, so we got ourselves a nice 8200 120C battery. So pretty excited. All of our bullets have been replaced, both cars. So yeah. So up next is what we have. All right, so up next, one of the most tedious parts of putting together a car for Chilibowl for us. Everybody wants to go fresh, represent, and so do I. Luckily for me, I have MR Customs on my side. Been very appreciative of what they do for me and my program. They came on a couple of years ago. I was fortunate to be able to get part of the team. My best finish at Chilibowl was 6th place in the A main with the SC mod, running a 4-gear transmission, a small motor with a lot of timing and ball diff. Reach out to Greg. Mentioned that my car was one of the highest ones that has ever made it to the main. So, I mean, I have a great opportunity to be working with them. I got new bodies for pretty much all my cars. So, let's dive into it. So, I already opened this, but as you can see, this is my SC mod body. It comes packaged very, very well. So, can't wait to get this cut out. So, all right. So obviously with the new body, and especially a molded body, it's pretty much like a 3-piece body, which I'll pull out later. It's just I got so much stuff laying around, but we're gonna go with the Thriller body. It's one of his newest bodies that he came out with. I'm pretty sure they're gonna work just as fine. I believe these bodies are the Victory. I mean, if you can look, they got some nice shape to them, and they're really light. So this year we're going to go ahead and put wraps on. So it's going to add a little weight to it, but the bodies are excellent. All right, and right here we have my late model body, which is the real deal. It's the same body that I've always been running. Works really good, looks realistic, and with Craig Boots' wraps, it's going to be on point. One of the things about putting the bodies back on, you know, we have a lot of rear steer on the cars. We're capable of putting a lot of rear steel in the car. But to be able to mount the bodies, I personally like the way the bodies look, make sure they're mounting good. The good thing about the MR Customs body is they pretty much have pre-marked holes with the fender wheels going stuff. But I still like to straighten up the rear arms so we know that the tires are going to be straight and everything's going to be proportional. So let's take a quick look. Right, with the SC mods, you can tell they're pretty much straight up. There's no additional added in the pills or anything. So yeah, I would just like to keep them straight, so like that when you put the body on, everything is straight, proportional, and then it'll fit just right. All right guys, just a quick video just to give you an update where we're at. Like I said, we didn't really film a lot of the process of taking apart, putting together, stuff like that. I think one of the things I probably can go really detailed is in the shocks. Take a lot of time in shocks, but like I said, it's crunch time. We got a lot of things to do. Let's get to the part where we do these bodies. These bodies take a long time. Make sure they're cut straight when I make them look right, and then you got to prep the bodies, wash them. Then you got to tape them, paint them, and then make sure they're all mounted right, and then slap the wraps on them. So we still got a lot of things to do. There's talks about a practice session going on at the new racetrack in Fort Worth, or Justin, I believe, Thompson Raceway, which we will be holding the SJG Southern Nationals there next year. So we might go out there for some practice, maybe breaking some tires. Never know. But hey, I appreciate everybody watching. Hope you're enjoying this content. I know it's not the best, but we're really trying to push through and trying to make it happen. As you can tell, I got a mess back here in both my workbenches, but we're trying our best. So we're gonna get there. It just takes a bit of time, and we're just rushing through this. All right, thank y'all. We'll catch you on the next one.